Hey, whoa! How's it going, team? I hope you're good. Welcome to the SubPar Poddy C, officially...
Unofficially!
Well, that was nifty. The best podcast on the internet and Spotify.
That's not what you wrote on the intro thing on our page. You wrote, officially, unofficially, the best t-shirt.
Not yet, Cole.
Oh.
I'm getting to that. All right,
Okay.
because you seem to have missed the very blue URL before that. Unless this is a great segue and I've ruined it.
No, I just like the fact that you said officially, unofficially the best t-shirt. Like, that's us. We are the best t-shirt.
We are the best t-shirt. It is known. I was going to say that people can go to HTT. Can you write this down, Cole?
Yep.
TTP.
Yep.
Have you got that? So that's 4 letters.
Yeah.
HTTP.
HTTP. Yep.
Yeah. Colon.
Slash.
That's a forward slash, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah. Then another one of them.
Left to right. Mm-hmm. Two of them. Do you mean?
Yes. 2 of them. Yep. So far, what have you got?
HTTP, like a wigwam, but it's TP. Colon, like what you got inside you.
Yep.
Forward slash. So it looks like a frowny face.
Okay, it does. It's like very sort of...
Yeah.
But what's going to really lift this URL is
Go on, it needs
shop,
to be blue.
SHOP dot SubPar, SUBPAR dot GG. And if you use code Poddy C, PODDYC, on any item page on our store...
Sorry, is this still part of the URL?
No, sorry, no, the URL ended at .gg. I do apologise.
.gg, got you. I'll type that into Wall Banter on our Discord and just see what people say.
Okay, good stuff.
That's in there now.
People can use that code for officially...
Unofficially.
The best t-shirt.
The best t-shirt.
It makes sense now. No, really.
Right,
really, we have a t-shirt and mug with the officially...
Unofficially.
Slogan on it, so make sure you pick up officially.
Unofficially.
The best mug and or t-shirt now.
I picked the wrong one to do the unofficially all cool. I didn't realise when I started doing that I'd have to say it like 6 times. I thought it'd be the classic once. That's sort of the average that I was expecting.
You've sort of...
But it's all right. We adapted on the fly.
I've broken the El Clasico.
Know what that
to
means.
end up going with the with just saying a little bit different. Carl, we have a little bit of news with the podcast, and this sounds somewhat solemn, but it isn't, because this will be the last ever episode (brackets maybe) of the podcast to be uploaded to YouTube, because we're having to have a bit of a fiddle with the algorithm, right? Because in my notes, I've got in square brackets, say why the algorithm is shit lol. Because, right?
That explains it, right?
Yeah, YouTube, what they do with viewer retention time, which is basically the metrics they use to then put it in like recommendations and whatever for people, they consider the percentage of the video watched. So if you have like a 100-minute video, you watch 30 minutes of it, which is a good amount. That's still half an hour of video watched.
Yeah.
That's 30% retention. However, if you make a 10-minute video and you watch 3 minutes of it, it's the exact same for 10 times less time. But if you watch like 7 minutes of it, it's 70%. All that kind of stuff. YouTube considers it a percentage rather than a flat number of 7 minutes compared to 70 minutes. So... our videos don't get recommended for our main videos because they think our retention is low because we put up a podcast and that basically fucks us over. Which is fine.
Each week?
Yeah. So every week we put a fresh new bullet in our YouTube revolver and just blast our foot away.
But there is something that we can do that actually fixes that issue. Our plan, and this is thanks to people on our stream. I basically was streaming and I was like, guys, what do we do? What's the plan here? Who's clever at YouTube and algorithms and the internet? Because I'm fucking not. I don't know how I got this job. And their suggestion was to make a second channel where the full podcasts go. So anybody who can only listen to these on YouTube, fear not, there still will be a way to listen to them on YouTube. And as well as that, we'll take like a segment of the best bit. So say we're talking to bloody, I don't know, we're seeing what Tadpole's up to, right? Yeah. And we're like, Tadpole, what are you up to? And the 15 minutes, the most interesting 15 minutes of Tadpole's podcast, which is probably the only interesting 15 minutes of Tadpole's podcast. They go up on the SubPar. They go up on the SubPar in HD YouTube, and the rest of that shit goes on SubPar Poddies or SubPar 2 or...
Why would it not be called SubPar Poddy C out of interest?
I don't know. Can be if you want. It can be called.
Yeah.
It can literally be called.
I think. I don't want to go out on a limb here. I think that makes sense to call it the name of the podcast.
What about we call it this, mate? Ready?
Go on.
Just spam the keyboard.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a drum roll.
Oh, no. That'd be a well cool way of doing a drum roll. Drum
Go
roll.
on.
The
And
answer
do you
is...
want to hear a mechanical drum roll?
Yeah, go on. Nah, that's too loud. That sounds bad. Also, mechanical drum roll. Good name for a band.
It's a really cool name for a band. I like that.
Did we ever say the best band name that we ever came up with? The whole someone saying something and being like, "That's a good band name." I'm not sure if we did. Maybe we did on the Sun the Sky podcast.
I don't know what
It's when
band
we were
name
in
this
Vegas.
is.
It's when we were in Vegas. And,
I know
we
this.
all ate outside the venue because we had our little food tokens, right? And we sat down, literally
with?
outside this big grey monolith with Sunless Khan and Freya Spears and Doomsy and you and me. And we sat there with our food, and I think it was Sunless. They said, "Oh yeah, it was a bit uncomfortable. It's like a concrete picnic." It's like, whoa, that
What a
is
cool
the
band
best
name.
ever band name. Concrete Picnic.
Concrete
I'd go and see
Picnic.
them. Yeah, I know, right?
Anybody right now who's looking for a band or can make or is trying to help a band out with their name, I think we give them that name. We put that into that's in open domain. Yeah.
Agreed. But I was gonna say, but if they put the before it, I will
Fuck 'em.
sue.
Yes, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we'll.
The concrete.
It only works with some bands. Does a the, and it does not work with Concrete Picnic. It has to be Concrete Picnic.
It's like, imagine if your band was called the Tramadolls. Drop the Tramadolls.
What the fuck's a tramadol?
Exactly. It's like the Facebook. Drop the. Just Facebook.
Exactly, like Beatles. Or
exactly,
Queen.
or Verve.
Oh, we're the Queen. You know? It doesn't make
One
any
hopes
sense.
not.
One hopes not. The Queendom. So, Cole, the TLDR from this first little bit is that we're going to be uploading condensed versions of the podcast to our main YouTube channel. We'll have a secondary YouTube channel called SubPar, Poddy C or Concrete Picnic, or whatever the fuck we decide on, which is our best bits. And we will also have the full episodes will always be on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and all the other little crackhead random ones like fucking Podbay or whatever.
Podcreative.gg.
Yeah, exactly.
Slurp.
We also recently hit a milestone because finally 100,000 people have clicked subscribe on SubPar but in HD. Cole, can I please have the 100,000 people who have finally clicked subscribe on SubPar but in HD jingle, please?
100,000 people, thanks mainly to John Sandman, have clicked subscribe.
Make sure you subscribe.
So I know everybody's thinking, what is Cole on about with the thanks mainly to John Sandman thing?
Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about, Sam?
It was on April Fool's Day. It was on April 1st, and we were on 99.7k, which had been on for about 2 weeks. And my boy Goblin, he wrote a tweet saying, "Oh guys, wouldn't it be really annoying if we hit 100k today? Haha, because nobody would believe it. Haha, so don't sub at youtube.com/subparbit in HD. Haha." John Sandman.
Classic. El Classico tweet.
It's not what that means, but yeah, it's a good tweet. John Sandman responds for a start, and I assumed it was some parody or sort of weird copycat account. So I was like, John Sandman said, haha, that'd be hilarious, right? And I was like, is that really him? 170,000 followers. It really was him. Then did I discover that he actually, the legend, genuinely, absolute hero, quote retweeted it, right? And said, get these boys over the line, or this would be hilarious, it has to happen. What an absolute legend. What a gentleman and a scholar.
He's got 1 million subs, by the way.
I know, and I did not know that we were on his radar at all in any semblance of the term.
I mean,
did you?
For some reason, he follows my personal account.
Yeah,
I don't really know why, at John Sandman. It's a little bit confusing. But we hung out with him a little bit in Vegas. Went to KBBQ with him. Lovely fella. Lovely friends as well. Really, really got on with a few of them.
He's so cool.
Yeah, just really, really kind man. And I think people think, is he that energetic in real? Yes. Yeah, he is the most energetic human I genuinely think I might have ever met.
I would follow him into battle. He is just a leader. Do you know what I mean? He's the person who'd rise through the ranks in the army or at the office or any sort of social thing where you can get promotions. He would just bounce to the top just because he'd be friend. Yeah, he would be king of Walmart, mate. He would be he changed his name to Mart. And they build walls around him. He would be the Walmart.
Wait, so he'd then infringe on Walmart's copyright?
I don't really know. It sounded like
If you changed your name to Mart, let's say Marty, and he shortens it to Mart, and then you start building a wall around yourselves, and you say, yeah, oh, look at me, I'm Walmart. Could they sue you?
Oh, look at me.
Look at me, I'm Walmart. That's a good Halloween costume.
Someone called Mart with a wall
Hello,
around
my
them.
name is Mart on like a sticker, and it's got walls around you.
To be fair, my emo flatmate at uni, one of my two best mates, he liked to do abstract fancy dress things.
Interesting.
And there was one where, what did he do? The theme for like one of the fancy dress nights was in like freshers, so our first couple of weeks was underwater animals, right? And he put on a tiger onesie, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a tiger shark."
Nice, good. I like that.
Which I always thought was quite good.
That is
Because everyone
good,
was saying, "Oh, you haven't done it," and he was like, "Oh no, yes I have. I'm a tiger shark."
I like that. There's
Yeah, me too.
one of my mates at uni. There was an animal themed club night because I did zoology, lol,
Legend.
and he went as a tiger. And you're thinking, gonna be honest, you and my flatmates put a lot of effort in there compared to my mate because my friend, I'm gonna call him out Will. You don't know him. You've met him, but you don't know.
Oh, do I not?
Oh, you do actually. Yeah, little head, tiny little fucking head, little
This is
pinhead.
Lester Will.
No, different Will.
Okay.
Yeah. But you have met him, and he got cut out strips of a bin bag and a Sainsbury's bag, which is orange branded and black branded.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
sellotaped them to himself.
That's
and went to a club and somehow got in.
That is absolutely excellent. There's only,
Remarkable scenes.
if we're talking about fancy dress, there's only been one time in my life, going on a night out when I was single, that I've been surprised that I didn't manage to get off of a girl, right? Because this one time I went in fancy dress. It wasn't even a fancy dress night, but for whatever reason I was.
Okay.
And my mates and I, we found, you know a traffic cone? It's like classic to bring a traffic cone back.
Yeah.
We had not a traffic cone, but the reflective strip that goes around a traffic cone. It turns out it's like a cylinder of reflective strip, right, that can be pulled off a traffic cone. So I put that on my head, and I had like bright orange like leggings and like an orange like a female tank top thing, right, a really tight one. And I was also wrapped in bubble wrap, okay? And then the traffic cone reflective cylinder on my head, and I was traffic cone man. And I swear to you, my friend, I was the most popular person in the club. It really hit. It was a ratings hit with the masses.
Did you not like get really wet and sweaty in there?
No, it wasn't that hot at all. I'll send you some pictures later.
Wrapped up in
we
bubble
will,
wrap.
for once, we will attach the image of the podcast on Twitter, which we always say we will and always forget. So we will do this. But I remember I was just walking home after it was done with my mate. And these people that I'm sure I didn't recognise, 'cause obviously I got very drunk and didn't remember much.
Yeah.
They were like, "Hey, it's Traffic Cone Man," and gave me a high five. And I was like, "Hey, I'm Traffic Cone Man." I've never felt more popular.
I genuinely think if I saw you, I think you were. I'd be like,
Disabled.
oh, that's good that they've let him out.
Do you reckon it was a disability thing and they thought they were being really woke?
I'd say that I would. That'd be my first instinct would be, oh, that's nice. Good for
So all
him.
this time, I thought I was the coolest guy in the club. 'Cause they were all saying to me, "You're my main man." Does that not mean that they think I'm
Did they
cool?
call you their little soldier?
Yeah. Like, I'd go to battle with
Oh.
you, like I would with John Sandman. That's what they meant, right?
Yeah. Oh no, it sounds good, Cole. It sounds like you had a really good time, and they didn't think you were disabled.
They said it was great that I was let out. That's what they said. And I was like, yeah, it is great. I'm happy to be out as well. They didn't serve me.
I'm happy for you, Cole. I'm very happy, mate. Well done.
Thank you, friend.
We've got plans as well for 100k, where I think we have all clips now, but I'm not going to say exactly what the video is, but we have requested as many doinks as possible. And our Discord delivered, Twitter delivered, we delivered. I think between me and Cole, we submitted about 45. We needed 100 in total. So we've done quite well with that.
Yeah.
And that is now being edited into a video for a special for our 100,000 subscribers. So make sure that you subscribe, give it a like, and you will be able to see that video as soon as it is released. It's going to be a beastly little vid.
Speaking of special, by the way, here's a screenshot of me as Traffic Cone Man. You can have a look. Is it what you expected?
How do you? What are you holding? It's like
It's like a little dagger thing. Yeah, I don't know how I got that. I also don't remember these. Oh, those glasses lit up actually, but they broke. So they're broken light up glasses.
Were you also wearing your like light up shoes?
What, the ones that I just wore day to day?
Yeah.
Every time you step. Did you ever have any of those?
No, I wish I did.
Oh man, I'll get you some for your next birthday whenever that
I want
is.
Heelys.
I did
I want
once.
light up Heelys. That's what I'm into.
Heelys
That'd be
sick,
so
man.
fun.
Yeah.
But I need Heely boots because my ankles.
You can't beat up somebody in Heelys.
What? Because they just roll away from you.
You need special big Heely boots.
I
Like
need big
normal
Heely
Heelys
boots.
are a bit much for you.
Yeah, I don't think my body could cope with normal
extreme
Heelys.
sport.
Yeah, unfortunately so.
Good times.
You, Cole, are, if we're talking about things that we're doing at the moment, I've been pushing you to watch Tiger King.
Yeah.
Now, I want to stress people who are thinking, oh shit, I've not watched it all yet. Cole is currently 4 episodes in. So if
Yeah,
you're
no
about that
spoilers,
point,
don't
happy
worry.
days. Or if you've watched past that point, happy days. If you haven't, then, you know, skip on a little bit. But,
Well, no, I won't spoil it anyway.
well, no, I mean, if we're going to talk about it, we might, like, spoil something for people, accidentally. Because we're going to talk about it a little bit.
I'm confident that we won't, but go on, let's give it a go.
I pushed it to you with...
Yes.
I saw it on Reddit, and people were saying, oh, this is mental. Like, this is the weirdest show I've ever seen. And I thought, is it, though? Like, can it really be that weird? And so I
Yeah.
started watching it thinking, this is going to get really weird. I also thought it was a one-part thing. And so I watched the first episode and thought, none of what I saw on Reddit has happened. I don't... Where are all of his tigers? What the fuck? And then I saw it was 6 episodes, or 8, whatever it is. So I was like...
It's 7.
7. So I was like, oh, I got it wrong twice, but right in the middle. And I was like, holy shit. Watched all of it in, I think, 2 days in the end, because we were streaming and stuff. And it is, hands down, the weirdest, twisty, turniest thing I have ever watched in my life. Do you think you know where one thread is going of Tiger King, and you are thrown for 1,000 loops? It's weird.
The editors have definitely done that on purpose. Like, characters that are introduced to you at the start, and you're like, oh, they're the goodie.
Yeah.
And then gradually it's like, they're not the goodie. And it's like, gradually, oh my god, they're a fucking thing that I won't say to spoil it. But Jesus, every single character just has all these ripples. And each ripple is more weird than the former ripple. It just gets odder and odder as it goes along. It's fantastic. I bet the guy making this documentary... I bet he could not believe his luck when he was hearing about all these crazy characters. But I did have a thought, actually. Mm-hmm. So, what I will say, which isn't a spoiler, is that it turns out that the shit that happens at the end, it's not like it happened, and then the documentary guy decided to make a documentary. It was ongoing as he was recording these people. Shit went down as he was communicating with them.
Yeah.
Now, my question is, he's bouncing between these different parties, right? He's going from party A to party B.
Yeah.
With his camera crew or himself and his interview questions, and he's saying, oh, party B. Party A said that, I don't know, 20 years ago you molested someone. What are your thoughts on that? Could it not be argued that the interviewer / documentarian, whatever the term is fanning the flames? And as the story develops, maybe this is explored, I don't know, I'm only 4 episodes in, but as the story develops, maybe he is in some way part of it, because as soon as you start documenting something, especially if you're actively prodding and asking questions, you are influencing things.
I mean, they do that in the show with, I mean, the interviewer, the Netflix interviewer, ends up interviewing a guy who was interviewing or making a documentary about Joe Exotic, the Tiger King. Who don't know what this show is, by the way, I realize I'm not going into context.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Tiger King is a show about a man called Joe Exotic, who is a mullet-having, gun-toting, South American, South USA, Southern bloke.
Floridian, even worse.
Floridian.
Yeah.
Who, but he lives in Oklahoma, who is a polyamorous gay man that owns over 200 tigers and has so many enemies, it is undocumentable, I think, the amount of people that hate him.
And I'd actually argue he's one of the more normal characters in the whole thing. Like, of all of them, sitting down and having a pint with, he'd probably be able to handle that.
But he at one point, somebody says, Joe Exotic does not have a poker face. And that is, I think, the truest statement said in the entire show. There's no point where you don't know where he says something and you think, oh, he's bluffing. He says what he's going to do. He fully admits everything that's happened, and he doesn't lie about stuff because he wants to be the head of everything. And there were some bits in it that weren't even mentioned that I found mental. Like, have you seen the alligator bit yet?
I've seen a bit with an alligator and two people standing on a platform above an alligator, if that's what you're talking about.
No. Okay. There's an alligator bit, basically. There are two alligators in his, like, sort of zoo.
Careful with spoilers, my friend.
I know. Documentary doesn't mention this whatsoever. I saw it on Reddit afterwards. The two alligators were Michael Jackson's alligators. And the fucking documentary doesn't mention it because that's not weird enough.
That's it, the cutting room floor.
They're like, you know what?
Alleys.
That's not vital, that. You don't need to mention that these are literally Michael Jackson's alligators because that's not entertaining enough. That's how mental this documentary is, that got cut.
There was me last week being upset that fucking Arju didn't make it to the finals, because what a perfect story that would be, which I explained last week. He didn't own any alligators, let alone Michael Jackson's or not. He didn't own any. So what a shit story that was in hindsight compared to Tiger King.
Exactly.
The thing about Tiger King is that the thumbnail, you know when you browse through Reddit and it's got its little thumbnail, it's got its sort of splash screen and then a little write-up. When I saw it, Linnea and I were flicking through Netflix a few days ago before it really came to the fore, and I thought it was like a Storage Wars thing. Okay. It literally looks like the trashiest reality TV show based on its Netflix splash screen. But it's so much more. It is by far and away sort of the next Making a Murderer. So for anyone who doesn't know what to expect, think Making a Murderer. And that's the level of thing that it is. Netflix do some banging documentaries, don't they?
They do. I can't wait for you to watch all of it because afterwards... Because me and Chaz recognised Tiger King because years ago, Louis Theroux did a documentary involving him of the exotic pet trade in America.
I mentioned that to Linnea.
Yeah, he went and visited Joe Exotic Zoo, and during this, a tornado hit, and Louis Theroux had to take cover with Joe Exotic, right?
Oh, I've seen a bit of the tornado, so that was while Louis Theroux was there.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that footage was happening at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, there's footage
they're also in Oklahoma, and there's lots of tornadoes that happen, so it might just be a thing. But yeah, so if you want more Joe Exotic action, watch the Louis Theroux thing, because it's just... There's lots of good things that happen in both series of documentaries.
The Louis Theroux one is the one with the monkeys, right?
Yes,
and the monkey is getting very aggressive towards Louis, and Louis like, I'd like to leave. I'm not comfortable here.
Yeah, he ends up going inside, and the chimpanzee, so an ape, ends up smashing windows and stuff.
Yeah, I remember. That's right. Fuck owning a monkeys scare me more than tigers and lions, to be honest. Or whatever. Little monkey fellas scare me more than
ape
cats.
Yeah, it's the fact that you just see them like tear faces off, and it's like, oh, that's sort of the thing that they go for. Yeah,
it's eyeballs and genitals.
There was a at the start of Tiger King, which you would have seen this bit, and it's not really a spoiler because it happened so early on. One of the zoo workers, while the documentary is being filmed, has their arm torn off, and I found it so funny because the first thing Joe Exotic goes and does is get his medical leather jacket. He goes and puts on a leather jacket, and then he starts like getting all like the arm, like making sure he gets a tourniquet on it and whatever. It's so strange. I'd recommend anybody to watch Tiger King.
The first thing he says as well is, I don't know if I'm ever going to recover from this financially.
Oh yeah, I'm never going to financially recover from this, and that's become a meme.
Oh, has it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's like screenshots of it, of like, I don't know. Well, we're moving on to it, but like Team Esper, like with their like players throwing, it'd then be their logo saying, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to financially recover from this.
Well, shall we move on? Yeah.
Cole, it's been a while. It's a Drama Alarma.
Awooga.
The Drama Alarma. Oh my god, this has been talk of the heck in town at the moment in Rocket League because there's a little bit of backstory where a team called Team Esper, made up of Delusion, Frenzy, and Sasteve. I don't know if S-Steve or Steve or Sasteve.
Could be SS-Steve. He's part of the... maybe not that one.
So, in the final week of the OCE Let's Play Live, which is their league play for the RLCS, Team Esper were playing Fury in the final match. If Esper, throughout this series, won 3-0 or 3-1, they would make top 4 and therefore make playoffs and could get a shitload of money because of this increased prize pool thing. If Fury won, then Fury would make playoffs. Fury could win by any amount as well, but Esper had to get 3-0 or 3-1. Otherwise, it didn't matter. Esper ended up winning Game 1 and Game 2, so they need to win one more, they're into playoffs.
Happy days.
Fury ended up winning Game 3 and Game 4, which then took it to Game 5, meaning that Esper could not make playoffs. Even if they won their head-to-head or whatever it was, they couldn't make playoffs. And so they did what any decent humans would do, and they kept playing to the best of their ability. Oh, wait, no they didn't, because they're absolute little shits.
Oh my god, it was such obvious throwing as well. Like, they threw, they stropped, they threw in the towel. At least, what's clear is that Delusion and Frenzy threw in the towel. Mr. SS Steve, he said on Twitter, as of today, he said 2 things. He said, 1, I didn't throw, ... sad face. And 2, he said, besides everything going on right now, I'd like to thank Let's Play Live HQ for another great season of Rocket League. I'm truly sorry the way it ended. As of yesterday, I decided that I'm no longer a part of the ex-Esper roster. So, big old Steve is definitively distancing himself from the rest of his scumbag teammates. And everyone on Twitter is basically saying, like, from what I could see, Steve looked to be trying as hard as he could, unlike the others.
So, in Game 5, which is the game that's sort of up for question, because the first 4, no one's denying, they were played properly. Like, they were all completely fine, they were fully kosher. In Game 5 is where things went to shit, and in the first, I think, like, 30 seconds, they fucked up 2 kickoffs. And it's not just like, oh, ironic-ed. Literally, all 3 committed to it, or nobody committed to it. So they went 2-0 down quickly. They also scored, I think, 1 or 2 own goals, and they double committed and bumped each other off the ball, right? Just the entire game, you could tell, obviously, they were fucking around. The game score ended up being 6-3, and the last 3 goals were scored in the last 30 seconds, like the team pinches and stuff, because they were fucking around. Fury ended up making it then into the top 4 because they won, didn't matter what the scoreline was. And that then meant that Renegades, which is our mate CJ, they were knocked into 5th place. Because if Esper won 3-0 or 3-1, then Renegades would be able to make it through ahead of Fury. It was such shameless and obvious throwing on behalf of Esper. And I'd like to just make sure that we distance the org from the players as well.
Yes, that's true.
Because Esper the org dropped their roster an hour after the series ended. And they said, a huge thanks to our Rocket League players for their hard work this season. Our time with them has drawn to a close, and we wish them all the best in the future. Hope to return shortly. And they did misspell in their image the word farewell, and they put farewell. Farewell. They really rushed that image.
Farewell sounds like a bit of like a catchphrase at the end of a sitcom, doesn't it? Oh well, farewell. It's probably like a pun. Maybe the main character is called Far, and it's him saying farewell, and it's his little pun because it's done on purpose.
And then it like zooms into his face like with the circle closing thing.
Yeah, and he goes da 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 da. Hey, but there's no A about this. This is just fucking shitty, isn't it?
It's disgusting.
Permabans for Delusion and for Frenzy. To be honest, Steve, it's tough to say because
I'd like to look at the series with that lens on because that's not how I was looking at it originally. Yeah,
and just watch Steve specifically and see what he's up to. But yeah, these Delusion and Frenzy guys. And one of them also tweeted saying, "Oh, I wasn't throwing my computer. My computer started freezing again." It's like, you lying little shit.
So that was Delusion. So Delusion tweeted, in all fairness, a few weeks ago, saying, GG's, we lost that series. How my PC was freezing, that's why we lost. And fair play, people have issues with their PCs. That's completely fine. If a goal or 2 was conceded because of that, which they weren't, then benefit of the doubt, they still lose. However, there was one point that you can see in the game that he wasn't moving. And it wasn't on a kickoff. It was when the ball was at the other end of the pitch, when his teammates were on the attack. He was at the back, his PC had froze, he wasn't moving. No goals were scored as a result, from what I could see, of him not being able to move because of a PC freeze. I think, fair play, you have issues. that ain't it, Chief. You fucking threw. And because people, I think when I spoke about this on stream, people were likening it to Alpha and K-Dot battling for clutch playmaker. Because ultimately, K-Dot didn't win a series when he could have done. He could have hit the ball in when it was on the line versus Veloce in the final week. He wanted to have another game where they were able to get clutch playmaker and he would secure it ahead of Alpha. But they were already locked in as first. It didn't affect anybody else's standings, and it was between him or Alpha at the top of the table anyway. So it was only the team that it was affecting and nobody else. First and second, or whatever position Veloci finished in, first and third, I think, were already locked in. That match did not matter for the table. Nobody was fucked over by that. That's where it differs. This ruined Renegade's chances of getting to playoffs.
It's a slightly separate discussion, but I do see chat's point that as soon as you say, oh, it's okay because all the positions are already locked in, so it's all right that K-Dot missed on purpose, it somewhat opens the door and leads you down a dark path to what we've seen here. Like, I'm not saying that's my thoughts, but I can see, and I'm also by no means justifying whatever this fucking team is called, Esper, did, but I do get our Twitch chat's point that in the same... It can be argued that all throwing of any sort comes under the same umbrella. And it can also be argued that Vitality threw that game 4 against Veloce by not scoring. So it's certainly a shade of grey in there that should be discussed.
Yeah. I think this differs, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, it completely differs. Yeah, it's on one hand, it's fun. On the other hand, it's scum. That's the differential
point. Fun or
point
scum?
here.
Flip the coin.
Well, we don't need to. We already know that Vitality are fun. And Team Esper's former roster, maybe other than Steve, are scum. But, like, they're getting so much hate on Twitter and stuff like that. Like, I've seen Ronicky said, okay, watching that Team Esper and Fury Australia, it was so obvious that Esper was throwing on purpose. You could see they missed the ball on purpose and tried to set up easy goals for Fury. So unprofessional. In my opinion as a pro player, and for almost everyone in the community, I'd like to see Steve, Delphire, and Frenzy banned. This is disrespectful towards the scene, the community, and the game. He also said, lastly, I want to see a tiebreaker series between Renegades and Fury for the final 4th spot, as it's completely unacceptable in any shape or form that this result counts for anything. Now, what are your thoughts on that last point?
It's interesting because when I was streaming, Doomsy raised the point that in league play, Fury beat Renegades, and so they should go through on that head-to-head in a league play thing. I think I'd understand either way that RLE Sports go with it. Personally, I think it would be really good if there was a replay. However, is that fair on Fury? Realistically, you have to think about it on both sides because they beat the team they're playing already in league play to get to this point, and they won that series. They're basically going from... They're doing double or nothing, is essentially what's happening. Oh, no, same or nothing, really.
Yeah,
and
true.
Renegades have nothing to lose here. I think it'd be unfair on Fury, but it's an unfair situation overall. I think I'd understand it either way, personally. I don't know if you have any other thoughts.
I don't agree with Ronicky that there should be a rematch. I think that the team that should be punished is Team Esper. They should have the book thrown at them. I don't want specifically Delusion and Frenzy anywhere near the Rocket League community anymore after what they've done. I don't think anyone listening to this would really disagree with that. But... as much as I love CJ, and I always want him to win, and I think he should just be given first place anyway, because fuck the rest of them. No, I don't think it's fair on the team that ended up finishing fourth on Fury that they need to reprove themselves, because ultimately, they've only beaten what's put in front of them. They cannot control the actions of the other team. And to be honest, I don't think that CJ would want this rematch either, or Kami. I think that those guys, they seem to have made peace of the situation based on what they've been tweeting, and taken the high road because they're all brilliant and top sportsmen and just wonderful bastions of this community. And I think that having a rematch between those guys would lead to more teams saying, oh, but they threw, but they weren't trying hard enough. Oh, but they were using a different car.
Yeah.
And it's the first domino, and suddenly everything is called into disrepute. Nip this in the bud now, throw the book at the fuckers that threw, and then move on, in my opinion.
Yeah, like I said, I'd be happy with it going either way. I completely get those points as well. I mean, CJ said how sportsman like they were being. CJ tweeted,
he's amazing.
We finish up 4-3 and come 5th. Obviously not what we wanted, but super proud of how we finished off and fixed some issues. I don't know if that was a joke, but I quite liked it anyway. GG's and good luck to the teams in the final. Rizzo replied, which, by the way, near enough every pro out there was fucking raging when I woke up the next day. There was Rettles was tweeting, obviously Ronicky was tweeting, Rizzo, Turbo. Rizzo replied saying, good job taking the high road, but you and I both know that shit won't slide. Next season, buddy, handshake emoji. And then Turbo replied saying, Shiesty and Kobe hitting the ban hammer right now. It's one of those things where I've seen some people saying, you can't prove it wasn't a throw. I implore anybody to watch that series and put forward a good argument of how that wasn't a deliberate throw.
With context as well.
Yes, with context, of course, yeah. I saw people on Reddit saying, I play bad sometimes. Like, they just whiffed a couple of shots. They dribbled it back to their own goal and scored own goals. Like, they were...
Yeah.
To me, it's completely obvious. I'm sure I'm not missing anything. And I think 99% of people agree, yes, that's a throw. And I think 100%, because I've not watched it with the Steve's perspective or whatever, I think the X roster entirely should be banned at this point with what I know. Because they were all part of throwing. And if they get away with it, it's another Rapid situation. We've discussed it before. It's pathetic the Rapid is allowed to play in the RLCS. Lol, RLRS. I think it's awful.
Garen.
Yeah. I think it's awful that this might go unpunished. But I back Psyonix to do well by this.
Yeah, it's an easy PR win to just ban the fuck out of them. And it'll be quite satisfying to ban the fuck out of them as well.
Yeah,
so Psyonix, ban the fuck out of them.
Scum. Absolute scum. A lot of them.
Yeah, that's something else I was going to say. Oh yeah, the fact that it was so obvious that even the casters, bear in mind that, imagine Psyonix sanctioned casters, they do not want to use the T word. They don't want to say they're throwing. You saw how reluctant Johnny and uncomfortable really Johnny and Shogun were when K-Dop starts messing about. It took a long time for Shogun and Johnny in EU to be comfortable with saying, I think something is afoot here, once they realised that it was all in good fun, right? So bear in mind the fact that casters in Psyonix's scene will not want to say anybody's throwing, because in Psyonix's world, everyone is E for everyone, everything is happy, you know, everyone's
and you also
life.
can't accuse people of that realistically without seeing everything that's going on.
Lightly.
You cannot accuse people of doing that if you're not sure. That to me also shows how sure they were.
Exactly, the casters throughout, they were saying, I think they're throwing. Nah, surely not. Oh my god, they are. Are they throwing? Let's assume they're not, but they definitely fucking are, though. It just is the case of that, unfortunately.
I really loved that they were calling them out.
I know, right?
It was so funny. It's a shit situation. I mean, we both agree there should be lifetime bans for right now. IMO all 3 players, but obviously look at the footage, see what's happening with Steve, see if he's being truthful.
Mate, I believe him. I'm on Team Steve.
Well, I'm not on Team Steve. That's the thing. I just want evidence.
Why do you hate Steve?
Well, I'm not. I don't hate Steve. I just want evidence. You should always support your claims with evidence.
My dad was called Steve.
Yeah, and he's a fucking smackhead, mate. Get over it. We can have a look at the regional predictions now, because we are, of course, experts on the EU and the NA-RLRS.
Doesn't Jacob play for one of the teams in NA?
Maybe. So we thought we had the right to make some predictions of how it was going to end up going. So we can look at the EU RLRS/RLCS promo relegation tournament, which is happening this WoA weekend. The first match is Endpoint versus Solari. Now, Carl, who's on Solari? Remind me.
A bunch of Frenchies is what I do know. I'm going to tell you right now who's on Solari. 3 blokes from France. A fine place. You
can't just say that twice.
A fine place from people from France. And that team is, of course, Exotic, Melu Shishu, and Kieran.
Okay, who's their sub?
Porto.
Cool. Okay, I thought it might have been.
Because a lot of people think that Porto is a city in Portugal, but they're wrong. It's actually the sub for Solari.
Very fair. Now, Solari finished 7-2 in the RLRS, which probably means something. And Endpoint are really good. So Endpoint surely win that, ref. I literally don't know them.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the issue, mate.
That's sort of going to be the sticking block of a lot of these. I know TSM. Bloody hell, I know TSM.
I know Triple Trouble, but they didn't make it. We Dumb Girls, I know a bit about them. Legion, talk for hours about them.
Cash.
But yep, Mitan, Taz.
etc. Of course. I reckon that out of that, fuck it, Endpoint qualify. I'm just going to get them to the end. Endpoint qualify. I think they've got a strong season. They didn't do very well in the RLCS, but they showed a lot of promise. They are going to be able to work their way through. They'll qualify. They're good. They're back. They win to get through. TSM, do they drop? That's the question. Question mark. Do they drop?
Yeah, so Espanyol, they're basically, from what I have picked up about the rival series, they are the attacking, aggressive, on paper probably the best team. I think they had a poor result in the final weeks, didn't go straight up, but they made it to the Johnny Boy TEI as well. They're basically a very well-respected team that are fast and will swamp you.
They're
Think
Spanish
Reason
Bim Bam.
Gaming. Think Reason Gaming from Season 3 of the Gfinity Elite series, where they just sort of like
Yeah,
confound everyone. And that's for you. That's for you and me, mate, and for the 4 people listening to this right now that watched on Facebook.
Hi, Duck Moriarty.
And I think that TSM are going to really struggle against that, because TSM are just about can hold their own in some slower RLCS games, but Espanyol are going to swamp them, do them. Is it best of 7 this? I think it's best of 7.
I bloody hope so. Fucking better be.
All matches best of 7, yeah. Espanyol are going to
okay.
do them 4-1, I reckon. Put TSM into the lowest.
Espanyol are like, we saw them play in TEI as well, I believe.
Yeah.
And they were fucking sick. They're just so good. They are so top draw Spanish bim bam. Let's see what's going on. I'd say out of the 2 teams, who do you reckon makes it through then? I'm going to go Endpoint and Espanyol.
Oh, I see. I'd probably agree with that. Yeah, I think that Endpoint is the better RLCS team in this, and Espanyol are the better RLRS team in this. So let's chuck those guys through, see what happens.
I hope TSM stay in Rocket League.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no personal affinity to the org, but sure, they're an org. It's always a shame when any org leaves, I feel. And I know that they are a big org. Like in the world of Fortnite, they got Myth, and they're big in League of Legends and stuff. So yeah, it would be sad. Maybe they'll pick up Reciprocity.
Maybe.
That'd be nice.
Maybe. That would actually be really...
There you go. You heard it here first.
I'm up for that. TSM, pick up Reciprocity. That's the title. So
Question mark.
Brackets unconfirmed. And then we can change that when it is confirmed. So we're both going Endpoint RCD Espanyol in EU.
Yeah, but who gets dropped to the losers finals, do you think? Out of Endpoint and Espanyol?
Endpoint, probably.
That's
and
what
then
I was thinking
Endpoint
too.
just beats somebody, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably Espanyol are just really... From what I've seen, the limited that I've seen from them, they're really good. I mean, they've only actually lost to the team that ended up winning it, but bear in mind. And they had the same record. They only lost on game difference.
They are, yeah.
I
mean, it's sad. I'd love to watch more rival series, but ultimately our job is streaming, and we already lose like 12 hours across the weekend for the RLCS. It's something that whenever I have a spare hour, I'll chuck on a series, but not enough to justify me saying, oh, you know, fucking Mellow Shishu is really aggressive. I don't fucking know. Do you know? How aggressive is Mellow Shishu?
Never heard of the I'm sure he or she is lovely.
Speaking of he or she, over in NA,
Oh,
Charlotte Phoenix are knocking on the door.
Oh, yeah. So over in NA, we have Rogue versus Stromboli. I don't know I know it's a food.
I'll give it a Google. What is Stromboli?
Tell you what, don't tell me the ingredients. Describe the look of it to me.
Oh, okay. It's roly-poly, but savoury.
Okay. Well, so it's not cake.
No. It's like a roly-poly cake, but with savoury stuff in it. You'd love it. Because it's like, remove all the nice sweetness of cake and replace it with savoury.
What's the savoury in there? Like crisps?
I see ham. It looks like a swirly
I
Subway.
like ham. A swirly Subway?
Yeah. Which is a much better name for a team than Stromboli, by the way.
Very true, swirly Subway. You heard it here first. Okay. Oh, that sounds good. I'm up for that. Let's have a Stromboli.
Yeah, alright. Why don't we make
Cool.
Strombolis when all this is over?
Hang on. Stromboli recipe. I somehow spelled
That's
it.
pretty fun.
Oh, that does look good.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Oh, it's pizza dough.
Imagine a Stromboli main and then a roly-poly dessert.
Oh my god. And then
Diabetes.
What can you have for a starter?
Oh, okay. What can you have for a starter? Pigs in blankets. They're a little bit rolly, I guess.
So a starter of pigs in blankets, a main of stromboli, and then a dessert of a roly-poly cake. What are they called? There's like an actual name for them.
What, roly-poly
cake?
Is that not the official term?
No, it's got it's got a Swiss roll. That's what it's called. It's a Swiss roll, isn't it? Yeah. So a Swiss roll is your final. That's your dessert. Oh, that's good, a stromboli. Fuck, I want
It
one
actually
now.
really does. Yeah, I want one as well. Can you make me one?
It's like a calzone. It's like a rolled up pizza thing. Yeah, I'll make you one.
Thank you.
Cool.
Oh god, there's one that's like a circle and it's got a pot of tomato dip in the middle of it. Like they've made it like a tearing ring cake.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, I see it. No, I can see some like with the pot of marinara.
Okay, I won't send it to you then.
Sorry,
I saw a recipe in a Cooking Light magazine a couple of weeks ago and it looked way too delicious not to try out. I've just got a pop-up. I was reading it, I've just got a pop-up saying improve your cooking today.
Oh, fuck off.
As if I give a shit about improving my cooking. Look at me. Do I look like I care? Fuck off.
That's good,
Done
man.
on that website.
I'm going to make a stromboli. I'm going to make a stromboli and post it to Twitter.
I reckon that Rogue are going to have stromboli. I think. Yeah, for nice. Then they're going to follow up with roly-poly cake. I think Wonder, Cronovi,
and then the lower bracket.
First Killer.
Roly-poly cake.
Cronovi sounds a bit like stromboli. That's one for the Rocket League rap that we're not going to write.
Cronovi and stromboli and a roly-poly cake.
Hey!
So you reckon Rogue have stromboli for dins?
Yeah, din-dins. And then after that, they'll have roly-poly cake.
Cronovi, I like to think that Rogue do well.
Yeah, same.
So looking at the actual table, Stromboli are 6 and 3. They're third because of game difference. Charlotte Phoenix, obviously Karma's team. I really like Karma. I think she is absolutely brilliant. I mean, I hung out with her quite a bit in Leipzig for DreamHack, and it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. So I hope Karma does very well.
She was at Insomnia as well with the Splice crew.
She was, yeah.
When for some weird reason Splice had their own Rocket League thing going on.
They had a fucking like Winnebago gaming bus thing.
Very odd.
Weird. Cool though.
Yeah.
Loads of sweets and energy drink near them as well. I reckon Rogue stay up and Charlotte Phoenix go up. That's my heart.
Yeah, you're a man after my own heart today as well. That's what I want to happen. I've got no affinity to poor old Hoxer, Rolders, and Ajax. Sorry, lads. And J-Pow, Alraz, and Andy. Like,
not
I've just
Andy.
Said those names. I've already forgotten them. I've forgotten them all. Alraz, J-Pow.
Alraz, J-Pow?
J-Pow.
J-Pow, J-Rag, J-O-Rag, and Andy.
I'll remember Andy. Andy's going to get stuck in my mind. In 5 years' time, people will be like, oh, Cole, do you remember those Rocket League players from Stromboli? And I'll go, Andy.
Andy, Jack-off Rag,
Andy.
And Andy, too.
And Kapow.
Kapow.
They're not going to win. Imagine next season when it's like, Andy with the RLCS winner.
Andy with the double tap. Oh, it's a Bardowski go-ahead goal. Top of the box.
Upper 90.
I'm hoping that it's a Rogue Charlotte Phoenix show this weekend. I think that would be nice. I think that would be good. United, I'm the same as you. I have no connection to them. Fire's gone though, so it means that I can support them.
That's true. Thank God for that. Do you know what? If they stay up, that's probably why.
What, Cole?
So good on them.
You don't think that CRL Champ 3 Fire is the one that's going to keep them up?
Well, he is muscly, sort of. I mean, he has got a bicep, technically speaking, so fair play to him.
He obviously goes to the gym. I'm not going to put him down for that, because he obviously goes to the gym. He does nipple lifts to get that fucking definition. No, fair play to him. He goes to the gym, and I always respect that. I like people working out. It's very nice. It's always very good. I love it.
Do you like it when I work out?
So, Charlotte Phoenix Rogue. Those are our teams.
Yeah, sorry everyone. If anyone's tuning into this, hoping that Cole and Stumpy can provide some top analysis between the jump between RLCS and RLRS, then we're not your men for that. Ask Johnny. Donate Johnny boy 20,000 bits or 2,000 bits. Sorry, 20,000 is a bit much. And be like, hey Johnny, who's gonna win out of United and Charlotte Phoenix? I bet you anything he will have a cracking answer.
Penny for your thoughts on Stromboli.
2,000 bits for your thoughts.
2,000 bits, $20 for your thoughts. What's your thoughts on the boys at Stromboli?
I want, right, in response to this on YouTube or whatever, people to tell us how aggressive Andy is, and people to tell us how aggressive Melu Shishu is. Which one's a better first man? Which one are you more likely to bet on in a 1v1 tournament?
I want people to let us know their predictions as well, because I want to know.
And that's a better question.
No, it's another question. I want to know about Andy more so. But who do you guys think ends up going up and down from EU and NA RLRS? Let us know in the comments. The comments are just below the like and subscribe button. So make sure that you drop one down there.
We're not submitting this one to the Rocket League Esports subreddit, are we? Because we'll form a mob, mate. Based on what we've offered nothing this podcast.
Ah, shit. We're supposed to Tiger King.
Is
that allowed? I don't fucking know. Let's put the Tiger King subreddit.
Yeah, let's do that.
Is there a Tiger King? There's got to be a Tiger King subreddit.
Fuck you, Carol. That's the meme, isn't it, that I've picked up on?
Carol fucking Baskin.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
/Tiger King. Oh, there's so many memes.
Cool. I'm scared, so let's not. I'm going to move on before we spoil it.
Holy shit. Oh, it's him. Cool. Oh, this is a subreddit I'm going to look at. All right.
Enjoy.
Thanks. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for going to http://shop.subpar.gg and using code Poddy C for 10% off on the item page. It is very, very appreciated. And also going to our Patreon. What do we say to our patrons?
Fuck you! Fucking tell us how good Moshi Moshi is, you shit patrons. I don't fucking know. Melishishu.
Shit. Christ. Andy, though.
I know.
Dream.
Are you an Andy fanboy now? Mate, honestly, legit, if Stromboli go up, we're going big on Andy next season. Agreed? He is our man. We are rooting for him above all else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody in the tweet that we'll put out with this, at Andy, and let him know that if he gets into the RLCS, he can come on the podcast.
Because we have had Chicago who's sort of said on stream that he'd like to, but we will bump him down the queue.
We've got Ronicky in the fucking wings.
Oh yeah, we don't give a shit about him.
He's
John
waiting.
Sandman, he tweeted us out. I bet he'd come on, but no, Andy comes first. I changed who I want to. Right, I'm sorry, Charlotte Phoenix. Rogan Stromboli.
Come on.
Fair for me. Stromboli, mate.
I'm on Stromboli and Charlotte Phoenix. Those are the people.
All right, cool. So Rogan Stromboli for me, Charlotte Phoenix Stromboli for you. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, everybody at Andy, let him know the stakes that he is playing for. Because Christ, I hope he can live up to this.
Who the fuck's Andy?
I don't know, but we'll find out. We'll make best picks with Andy. Okay? If they get to RLCS LAN, Cole, we're getting KBBQ with Andy.
Deal, done.
All right? Me, you, Andy, John Sandman, Chicago, and Ronicky.
Man, I can tell you that Andy's.
Team.
I can tell you that Andy's dodge dead zone is 0.7.
Oh, that's so him. That's so handy. All right. Thank you, team. Bye.